considered picture cars. That's a showbiz term. It refers to any vehicle ever featured in a movie or a TV show. Next, we're going to visit the transportation department. It's home to some of the most famous picture cars in history. I think my favorite here are the three futuristic cars from Back to the Future 2. Those are the flying cars. We're all going to get year 2015. Can't wait till 2015. It's going to be so dope. The Flintstones cars are made mostly out of fiberglass, not real stone. And our biggest picture car is at the very end of the lineup here. A tank of Transformers. Made mostly out of wood. A wooden tank, so it doesn't do anything. But sometimes they just need to look real. They don't have to be drivable. Other times they do have to be drivable, though, like a lot of the Fast and Furious picture cars. Oh, we got a few more picture cars here. They're actually a subtle clue as to what our next stop is on the back line.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, John. On either side of the tram, you're going to see props, boats, and picture cars, all from the Jurassic Park films. Camouflage RV on the left is another mostly wooden picture car. That was the Mobile Lab unit in the Lost World Jurassic Park, the second film in the franchise. Dangled off the edge of the cliff in one scene. Oh, this is interesting. We got some dinosaurs. Gross. Oh, this big dinosaur coming out that does not spit. Don't worry. Now here's a scene from the Lost World Jurassic Park that features the Mobile Lab unit we saw in the life.
Dinosaur.
Here it looks like the lab is dangling over the edge of a cliff in a jungle. It's actually dangling over the edge of a parking garage on the front lot of our studio, so we never left the lot perfectly clean. Actually, that scene is full of illusions. Not just the parking garage doubling as a cliff, but there was a stunt double in there falling in place of Julianne Moore. Also, the rain in that scene probably wasn't real, because this is Southern California. It never rains here, except it has been raining a lot lately, but just play along. So if you don't make your teens rain in SoCal, I'm going to show you how we can accommodate them. We're going to get a little demonstration, thunderstorm demonstration. Here in old Mexico, sets have been featured in movies like Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. Lady Gaga was here a few years ago for the music video for Son of Judas, but as you can see, we have some lightning flashes right now, and thunder. It's all fake. Thunder, fake lightning. And then we get the rain to go with it. So that's how filmmakers can get a nice thunderstorm on a mostly now sunny day. The rain is coming out of sprinklers. Thunder is coming out of speakers that are built into the sets. And the lightning flashes are coming from strobe lights. And the raindrops are actually larger than real raindrops would be. Real raindrops are so small that they don't read on the camera. Basically invisible on the camera. So if it's really raining, it's usually worse than useless. We would still have to bring in the fake rain on top of it. Oh, look at that. There's a flash flood headed towards the tram. I wasn't paying attention. Well, that same flash flood was featured in the movie Big Fat Liar. Alright, now from Old Mexico, we head into the Old West. Our western town is called Six Points, Texas, where a few months ago we had a big top secret movie filming Classic westerns have filmed here too, like Winchester 73 with Jimmy Stewart and My Little Chickadee with Mae West and W.C. Fields attack in 1940. All the big western stars worked here at one point or another. Now we call this 6 points because there's the main road that we're on right now and 6 little side streets. We have a pretty generous portion of our backlot dedicated to the Old West, not too many close studios either. Now we to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. Again, the studio is private property, so if you drop your phone or just make waves for us to hold it before you get my attention, I'll be back to assist you to the main seat on the trail. Next to the left, out past the lake, some of our backlot sound stages. That's where the movie Us did some filming, again written and directed by Jordan Peele. It's also where Bird Box did some filming starring Sandra Bullock. Also to the left, we have this body of water that's called Park Lake. That was the Black Lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon. That clips your gone. Let's try that again. There we go. Now up next, you're going to get a brief but exciting look at Little Europe coming up on the left. So called because these sets could be any European country and filmmaker wants, which is change up the set decoration. Many of our classic Universal monster movies from the 1930s and 40s filmed in Little Europe. They would often film what we call the angry mob sequences there. So these angry mobs get together usually near the end of the film, and they're gonna, try to kill the monster that's been scaring them all through the film. They have a kind of a spotty success rate. Sometimes they panic and scatter, and then the monster survives. It's actually a good thing though, because if the monster gets killed at the end of the movie, that makes it harder to justify a sequel. Not impossible, just a little bit harder. Now more recently, Little Europe has been seen quite a bit on the NBC comedy series The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. On The Good Place, Little Europe is the
You, Ellen Shutstone. Location. I've never ever seen this.
I'm not supposed to be here. He was going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad. What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Yeah, so The Good Place, they've actually been getting ready. I mentioned earlier for their 4th season. They're not filming it yet, but they're building sets and some of our front sound stages. And I believe they're also in Little Europe, or have been in Little Europe. Past the Psycho House in Prudential, one of the largest sets in movie history. This is from the film War of the Worlds, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's called The Crash Set. It is a real plane, a 747. Here's Steven and his production designer Rick Carter. They'll talk a little bit about this amazing set.
The airplane crash is privileges of a set that is all designed around
things that, again, to sit down and talk about the area. I thought, what if it's 747 was not like it? I couldn't do it. Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Keep making us me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now closed.
Bobby, get in. Get in.
Alright, up next I get to do another safety reminder. We're approximately 10 minutes from the end of the studio tour. We'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency code if you need to then up next on the right is a cabin. It was built originally called the Great Outdoors, starring John over. Out past the cabin, see that big blue wall? There's a concrete basin in front of it. It's called Falls Lake. Filmmakers use it to film scenes set in big bodies of water, like Sully, starring Tom Hanks, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Evacuate.
This entire sequence from Sully filmed on Falls Lake. They filled the basin with water, and they put a plane out there and all the actors. And after filming using CGI, computer-generated imagery, all the blue color on the wall was digitally removed and replaced with what you see in the background, the trees, the buildings, and the sky. That's the CGI part. Other movies have filmed on Falls Lake recently, like Dunkirk, Hunger Games: Catching Fire, and Bumblebee. Now we're driving into this warehouse. Why are we driving in here? This looks like a hangout at the Everybody just stays seated.
He's reaching. Access to statue. Sean Moran. He brought you an obscene spot.
Alright, guys, we're gonna keep sharp refining to keep you safe and your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone will get us through.
That means y'all take this real serious.
Okay, on to the next day. Okay, well, it sounds like Owen Shaw is after us. He's a dangerous international criminal.
So we're gonna do what they say.
But you do not need to wear your 3D glasses just yet. I hope it goes by, though. I will let you know when it's time to put them on.
It only happens once a year. Our Jaws Lake is totally drained.
Yep,
right
there's
now.
the
So
shark
it's
right
getting its
now.
annual scheduled
There is the
refurbishment.
shark.
This whole area, though, that we call
There's
Jaws
the
Lake,
shark.
it went by the name of Cabot
Right there.
Cove on the TV show Murder, She Wrote for 12 seasons. And then on the left here, we're going to round the end of one of our favorite residential streets. The street is called, now, the street's not related to Nightmare on Elm Street themselves, just a mystic name. The house closest to us on the left with the green roof was Boo Radley's house in the film To Kill a Mockingbird. More recently, TV shows have filmed on there like Danger Street, 911. Over on the right, we have the branches of production to the from there. Coming up on the left is our other fake residential street. This one is called Colonial Street. That's the official name. Unofficially, a lot of people still call it Mysterio Lane because this is where Desperate Housewives filmed for 8 hit seasons. It's a very, very popular filming location. Lots of productions filmed up here. Recently, we had a TV series AP Bio filming here that stars Glenn Howerton, who used to star on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Movie Wyden with Bryan Cranston filmed here. A little further back, movies like The Burbs starring Tom Hanks, shot on Colonial Street, and Casper with Christy Ricci, and the music video for Nellie Go with Nellie and Nellie Rowland's Time. And that's also the music video for the song All Star by Smash Mouth. You guys remember that song? It goes like this: Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the 90s. Go play, something like that. That filmed up here. And the houses up on the Colonial Street, for the most part, are practical sets. That again means they have full interiors with living inside and out. Although some of them started out as the other kind of sets, facades. We have the Metro set here, brought up here to into practical sets. And additional houses were added to the full fake street. We also have a lot of commercials film up here. I think car commercials in particular love to use Colonial Street because so many productions film here. We have to change up the look of the homes pretty frequently, different colors, change the landscaping so that you don't recognize it. One historic home I want to point out coming up on the right, the big purple house that belonged to the Munsters back in the 1960s. That was 1313 Mockingbird Lane. And next door to that, the beige house with white trim belonged to Jimmy Stewart's character in the movie Harvey, which is about a man who's friends with a talking invisible rabbit. We've all been there. It's very relatable. So that's Colonial Street. But again, for a lot of people, I think this is still best remembered as Wisteria Lane.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighborhood.
From Colonial Street, we are currently on Wilderness Road because it kind of looks like the wilderness with all these trees. Although really Wilderness Road is part of a longer road on our back lot that's named after Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg Drive. It's the longest road on our back lot. So we named the road after Steven because we've worked with him many, many times over the years. You can see the sign from the right there. But Steven, he's one of several Oscar-winning filmmakers that we've worked with a bunch. Another one is Ron Howard. Ron directed one of the biggest productions we've ever had on the Universal lot, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
One of the biggest creative challenges that we face on How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the storybook world of Dr. Seuss.
And the storybook world of Dr. Seuss is coming up on the right. These two houses were featured in the film.
One of the most talented artists in Hollywood worked for months to create a living, breathing Whoville. When it was all done, they had built an entire city. And the fantasy world of Dr. Seuss became a reality.
Yeah, so now we have the fantasy world of Dr. Seuss permanently on our back lot on display. But here's where the fantasy... So Bronx Film on this set, and we don't have the name. You guys feel that? It's like a major earthquake. Everybody hitting a mile.
water main broke